Hey there everyone, welcome to the YouTube video here on the channel. My name is Emily. Today we are here on the West Coast Main Line South route for Train Sim World 5. Got my first route learning video in Train Sim World 5. So let's have some fun. Oh, need a key on if I can do that. Doors on the left. And headlights to day running mode. All my systems now running through a self-test, so I'm trying to hit the reset a couple of times. There we go. So, this is Milton Keynes. You remember that, of course, from Pete Waterman's Making Track Throw. I'm not sure which one it was that they did Milton Keynes in, but yep, they got the character right. Going back down to track level. So you can see the track goes off that way, but we are interested in going southbound. This is the top of the route. We're going to fly all the way through it today, give you a look at the route, but also doing it in a hoodless fashion. I'm going to pull the hood up every now and again though, just to check our departure time, which we've now passed. So lock the doors, reverses go forward. This is where a buzz would be great. And away we go. Alright, so slow and gently does it. I'm going notch 3 because this is quite a genteel departure pace for these trains. I do enjoy the Avanti to West Coast livery, to be fair. It looks very swooshy. I quite enjoy that. So on a dash 0 today, which is on the 9-car Avanti Pendolino, sorry. And 10. Go full power. Just what you need to actually get this thing to move. So yeah, our first stop today, our first and final stop is London Euston. It's like a 33-minute run. Oh, I like those motor sounds. Look at the suspension because this is obviously really cool. So I've not so much had it on this run just because obviously this is multiple unit and they ride quite smoothly. But the Flix train thing I did in the preview, we went over some points and I was like, oh, I had like a second of deep immersion there. The throttles are wide open, and our start speed when it's 125. We basically get up to it and stay there until basically King's Langley. Then we drop down for Watford Tunnels and we pick it back up again. That's 60. So you can see that. So like I said, this train is not a rapid accelerator because I think in the if this was a it does pick up a bit too far, but in the 800s, if we'd sort of left the station, we'd been 100 by now. And that is one of the things they said with the 805s. On electric mode, they accelerate faster than both a Pendolino and a Voyager, like drastically so. And that's what gives, that's why they can afford to not tilt, because these things tilt, which gives us a slightly higher permitted speed, but we accelerate slower. They accelerate faster, but because they do, they can drive slower and still keep to time, basically. It's a bit like on the lead services, LNER used to run Class 90s, which can do 110, but because there's a slower average speed there, and it's a shorter journey, you keep similar amounts of time. I should do that scenario I made. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself here. There's a scenario I did for the Train Sim Community website where you pick up a 360 from Northampton Depot and bring it down here, and you basically get as far as the station here at Bletchley. And it'd be a cool little video to do because it would sort of take you through a little bit of the shared route on West Coast Main Line South, and just give you an appreciation of how different the two are, but also similar. So yeah, we're 110 through the platforms. Well, 105 closer to really. We're in 9-car tilting train with a maximum minute speed of 140 would of course do 125 today. That's your fleet contact numbers, which I think are fake numbers, which is good. Well, they've got a call centre for the 390s. Quite funny. 115. Okay, that is speed, so we'll put speed set on, and that holds us at 125. So I can now just look out the window basically. Apologies for that heating. Got a cold as well as being hormonal, so I'm just sort of drinking a lot basically right now. Crap. I tapped out to check on the recording after the issues we'd had in yesterday's video, and I just picked my audio up a little bit there, and yeah. Bye bye. I do enjoy the sound design, just the birds. I do think sometimes they do a bit much in the way of birds, because it's very rare that you get birds this loud, in my opinion. We can't change plans on the fly. Door controls, notepad light, cab light. I'll check that going through the next tunnel. That's your bell buzzer codes. Yeah, so main points I guess of the cab on of 390, stuff to be aware of. 2PWS appears to be faulty, but that's just the context, that's just the lighting in the game. We've got a 4-step reverser off, forward, neutral, reverse, just as it says on the can. Throttle, master key, speed set, that basically just holds us our present speed. Interesting that says West Coast Main to West Coast Main use only. I wonder if a Pendo can couple a Voyager in theory. Selective door open and close, TMS, headlights, dimming controls, the lights. I can stick those on bright since it's the middle of the day. Tilt isolation, we're not going to use that today because we want to run at high speed, but that basically turns the tilt system off. That acknowledges tilt system alarms. That gives us the issues that could come as part of that. TAS, which is basically a system that monitors that we're not speeding. Or exceeding 125 or lower speed, like TAS by the tilt speeds basically, and tilts the train appropriately. You've got brake indicators, AWS, Gus and Moreau, wipers, windscreen cleaning, miscellaneous stuff you don't really use much, dusty switches as they call them in the airline industry. So you can switch your pan from rear to forward, pan up, pan down. Air temps, on train comms, that's just thingy. Emergency holdover, you do that a lot. As I was saying, I wish they gave us the ability to reset pass comms in the game, because those you get those so often. And it's just someone's pressed it by accident, or a child or whatever's pressed it, and there's no actual emergency. For me, whenever I hear them go off, I always go running off the train to check that everyone's okay. And then I get there, and it'll be like a child in the toilet who that doesn't understand That the big red button that says, you know, call for aid or, you know, all that kind of stuff, actually means that, oh, I've got dynamic weather on, this is fun, so we're going to get some rain today. Hopefully we don't get fog, so I'm quite enjoying and interesting the view today. Wave to the passing train. Yeah, I do also feel like I'm sort of scrunched into the left of the cab. Like, I don't know if I'm just used to... 800s are fairly central, I guess, for driving position. But yeah, me and the second man have got sort of equal positioning in the cab, whereas in 800 the second man's sort of in the corner. That's probably what it is. I don't need to hit the wipers yet. I can still see quite clearly where I'm going. It's a pressed washer jet, isn't it? It's like a hack they've built into the game. If the player clicks on washer jet, make it rain. Make it rain! That'd be quite funny. Reliant, we'll just use interval. I'm enjoying the bounciness of the wipers on these. I don't get... See, that left-hand wiper is doing all the work, and that right-hand wiper is just polishing, feels like. So the next main landmark for us is King's Langley. We basically cruise for quite a bit of time. Actually, that cloud hit me like in a really good way, like in terms of the way it looks. Like the slightly wet train, slightly wet environment, yeah, but really well brightly lit. That's, yeah, I like that. At this distance, well, actually covered this distance. We've got this left to go. This here is Watford. So you've got a little bit of the spur for the Watford branch, Watford station. Watford DC lines, which I'll be covering in a separate route liner. It'll probably be a couple of weeks away, but I will be covering it off just for your guys' enjoyment. And to miss mine, because it's a route I wanted to do for a while, and I think I'll do it northbound in a 710, southbound in a 378. Straight between those two. So the cool things, yes, so obviously with the new cameras, Hemel Hempstead, which of course we did our pickup in the thing video, which says Hemel Hempstead platforms, and gives platform numbers, which is really cool. And it gives you the names of all the markers. So sidings, for example, if we go to Watford, should be the tunnel marker named, I guess? No, just because that's our route. But yeah, it gives you Watford's, Watford Yard, which it's a shame they don't use the actual proper names, because there's some, you know, you can learn some, like there's some really interesting names for yards and stuff. I understand why they wouldn't do it, because they're not completely mad, but yeah. absolutely bounce the windscreen wipers. Who's that playing a game of tennis? A shit game of tennis, but a game of tennis nevertheless. Sorry. Like I say, that when the trains go whizzing through the station, it does just about trigger in my head when I was focused on the trains that this is real, feels like I'm watching a video, and that's the realism I've wanted from a train simulator for a long time. I think in VR this would be really interesting to experience, and it's just a shame they're making a VR mini game which looks shit, to be honest. Yeah, we'll see. We should always just see. But again, like, okay, that rain's a bit heavy. So actually, yeah, that's siding. I know where I am now. Because I saw King's Angle as well, so it's a little bit cheeky on my part. I apologise. I want to look around the station, but we need to slow down for the 110. So just take a gradual brake application to 110. I'm going to go into full power, and we'll select a speed hold at 109. So basically, Taz was supervising us down. We're now at 109, which is absolutely fine. We basically zoomed through this tunnel at 110. Well, 110 is the line speed, of course. So we zoom through here at 110, through Watford, then just south of Watford, there's a right-hand curve. After that curve, we go back up to 125 most of the way into London. Yeah, I've now got Goblin in it, and you've got the... So that is a great layer to have, having the 710s in. I feel like that adds a lot to this area of the route, and I'm glad they did it. I was really worried for a second because Dovetail going to Dovetail that they weren't going to do it. But yeah, it's really cool that they have. Really tilted over here, which is cool. Let's have a look. Watching for a, I think in the 4-foot, on the 36-foot, sorry. But it's signage in the 6-foot, and that gives us 125. We'll take speed set out, power's in, and the train will start to accelerate. Basically, because we're going so fast, and this doesn't accelerate too quickly at speed, by the time we've cleared it, we'll be fine, basically. Coming up. I'm doing my wrist trigger commentary driving now because I'm a little bit tired. My next breaking point is Wembley, isn't it? Yes, it is 110. Cool. No, we've got quite a bit of time in the padding, so I'm going to slow a little bit earlier and just be a bit more cautious driving this time. 125. It's a shame that is this DB66. His headlights aren't on, but his taillights. It's bugs like that that are really disappointing, because that should have been caught on so many levels, and it just wasn't. That's the turn back sidings for the Bakerloo, so an actually Bakerloo line train starting to appear on the DC lines. It is raining in London today, yeah. Thing is, so I prefer to keep dynamic weather off, because most of the time we're doing videos, we want to be able to see the route, and we don't want it to turn foggy or rainy on us. But it is realistic to intercity operations that you go somewhere, and as you travel, the weather changes. You know, I've had days where we leave Newcastle and it's lovely weather. And by the time you get to, it's light fog. By the time you're at Dunbar, you're completely socked in, and in Edinburgh, you're back to light fog again. You know, it's yeah, it's realistic, basically, is what I'm trying to say. FKAs. Got Bakerloo in DC mode, outstanding. It's not Bakerloo at 710. Let's just go back to notch 2 now, because we are at speed. Okay, and this is Wembley we're now at, so I'm going to go power off. As we zoom through the middle of Wembley. So this is including Goblin, how they're popular. That's okay. I wouldn't go beyond okay with it, but it's okay. So we're going down to 110 now. I wish there was more rail vehicles in there. The VTG Ialnos things, they could absolutely go in a modern timetable for this route. I'm not doing it because I'm not interested enough, but you could absolutely do it, and it would look okay. Because mechanically, they're basically identical to the JNAs that Thingy use, and the livery is incredibly similar as well. There we go, so just below 110. We're now approaching, so that's the end of Wilston, so you've got Wilston PRDC up there, that's Brent Sidings, Wilston Eurofreight Terminal, that's where the swell comes out for HS2. On the left there you've got the DC lines popping back out, which is sort of Bakerloo and Goblin still, Goblin Traction, Goblin, these nuts, am I right? Yeah, you got some units in Wilson Depot there, and I'm now going to put some braking, so you won't be at 105 entering this tunnel. There we go. And we're going to slow down to 80 now. Basically, I'm just suggesting to the unit that it slow down. Of course, you've got the weird builders merchants in the middle, which is, I think it's a network rail PWA yard, or a TFL PWA yard, and over the other side you've got, what's the name of that station? So known that I can't remember the name of it. Actually, we'll leave it for now. We'll stay at 75 for now. Took that speed out a little too early. So we slow down to 55 at the next bridge. After this one. In my notes I said it's Main Street Bridge because it makes sense to me what that is. We can start at 55 now. I get a sander activation there. I'm going quicker than I'm braking harder than I think. I'm not noticing any slipping and sliding, but it's good that it's simulated. There's our 55, got a 50 next. So you're basically going to pop out of this tunnel at 50. Love the headlight illumination. That was our 50 limit there on the bottom left. Blink and you miss it on this one. It's going to be a bit of a West Coast special at the moment with the amount of stuff I'm doing on West Coast Main Line. So I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing the 710, I've got a Train Sim Classic video coming, I'm going to be doing Gloss Up, which is an extension of West Coast Main Line. Yeah. Quite a bit to do really. So there is our next tunnel. And that is where we need to get 40. Do it in 1 step of brake. Gently does it really. Okay, step 2 because step 1 was only holding us down the hill. No, that's an amber. It's quite difficult at first to differentiate if that's an amber or red. Platform 14, we're passing at the platforms now. Line D. We'll pull down at 25, just take our time coming in the station here. Yep, track forward, platform 14, so doors will be on the right hand side in the direction of travel. power and actually get up to about 12. Now that we're entering the station and we're under cover, turn our wipers off, they'll run their last cycle and they'll go off hopefully, yep. Don't do that. It won't be no faster than 14 over that TPWS grid, which we're fine for. I want to get down about 5 for this final approach. I want to stop as the buffers disappear under the nose cone. That'll do as well. There we go. Okay, so full service brakes. Release the doors on the right hand side. We're going to set the DRA as we'll be leaving the cab. Set our headlamps to tail lamps. That terrified me for a second. Because those lights for left hand door release are on. The left hand doors are locked, but that shouldn't be illuminated, I don't think. Whoa! That was an operational incident nearly right there. But that is us arriving to London Euston. Have we got a uniform, I wonder? No, we're wearing a jacket, but we're wearing civvies. So, we're in Euston today. The local time is, whatever it is. Brakes applied. We're going to wait for it to say lock doors. We'll lock the doors. And then I'm going to shut the cab down. And we'll key off. No, thank you. Right. So we got a platinum. She's cool. So, yeah. A couple of minor points. And this is the stuff that's been picked up by others. I know I'm not the only one. I'm still not convinced this train isn't facing the wrong way. Because we've got a through area down here. Well, actually, no, it might be facing the right way. I'm not 100% now. I can't remember which end I see in Edinburgh. But yes, we've arrived. Like I say, overall, really enjoyable little run this. You know, closing the doors, I wish you could just leave them open because right now cleaners would be jumping on, sorting the train out before it goes back out again. You know, platforms have to be walking through, checking for anyone's property, any of that kind of malarkey. And it feels like we're not doing that, and it's a bit of a shame. But overall, I'm really enjoying it, honestly. This is a lovely little video. A lovely little route, sorry. The 390 should have been part of the base game, and I get why it wasn't, but it should have been. You know, I think probably making like a 730 the hero for the deluxe edition would have been better, but that's just me. Anyway, guys, thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, hit that like button. Subscribe to see more from me on a regular basis. And until next time, guys, bye for now.